phones hardware. I'm here talking to Joseph Hofer from BlackBerry at the BlackBerry 10 launch event. And we're going to talk a little bit about the industrial design of the new Z10.
Great, thank you, Alex. So I've been at RIM for about 8 years now. I've been working on the industrial design of our iconic products such as the Bold line. And what we wanted to do with the BlackBerry Z10 is bring a lot of our DNA of simplicity, functionality, and a great attention to detail into the product. But as you saw this morning, the BlackBerry operating system, BlackBerry 10, keeps you moving with peeking into your hub, BlackBerry flow of interacting with other activities without leaving the one you're in. It was really important for us from an industrial design standpoint to make sure the experience, the user interface, took center stage. The design was all about celebrating it and sort of allowing it to be the hero, if you will. So you'll notice that there's this edge-to-edge glass across the front of the product. And that was really inspired by the sweeping gestures used to glance into hub and back out, right?
It is Gorilla Glass, some kind of
It is a hardened glass.
Okay, yeah.
That features a touch on lens technology. What that allows us to do is remove a touch panel inside, helping us create the thinnest BlackBerry ever.
Now, it's 4.2 inches.
Yes.
Which for a BlackBerry device is big. But if you're following the trends in the mobile industry, we're starting to see phones get pretty big.
Right.
Any reason why you decided on that particular size?
Sure, absolutely.
As the choice for the Z10?
Yep. Our customers are always on the go. And we chose this screen size because we felt it hit the sweet spot between an immersive experience, user interface, as well as being one-handed in use. So I can use it with a coffee or carrying shopping bags and still interact, type. So we considered all of those things when choosing the screen size.
Can we go over a little bit more on the hardware, that's
Sure.
the materials used? Is it a metal sides with a plastic back, or is it all plastic on the sides?
So the frame is a composite of stainless steel internally for strength, as well as plastic in areas to allow the antennas to function at their best. You'll also notice that the ends of the product are very slightly sloped, and that's designed so it feels great against your ear, your face. But then also on the front, it's very important to be clear with material choice as to the function. So we've made the ends satin, and they're actually quite similar to margins of a book or a paperback novel. You know where to hold it when you're interacting with the product, and you're not covering content because of that. The back is plastic with a textured surface and a soft to the touch coating. This again reinforces the one-handed aspect of the BlackBerry Z10. So when you're on the go, you know you have a good grip on it as you're typing, etc.
I noticed the power button's on the top, right?
It's power as well as lock.
It has lock, but there's no HDMI out or any.
There is HDMI out and USB as well. Yeah, for sure.
So noticed that.
What's actually quite nice is the HDMI is on center of the product, so when it's plugged in, it creates a very balanced user experience when you're gaming, etc.
It wasn't mentioned today at the press conference, but is there a wireless display functionality as well?
It features DLNA.
Okay, DLNA, okay. Now, I also looked at this, the back is removable, which is something that is not as common on phones today. So with the removable back, I guess you can change the battery.
Absolutely. So, you know, our users are on the go, world travelers, and this allows them to replace batteries and keep going strong, but also provide very clear access for the SIM and SD, as well as you know, other details. NFC is built in as well.
I know, obviously, you're not really involved in the battery side of things, and it wasn't mentioned today, but is there approximate battery life, like the capacity of the battery, or what you're expecting to get from life on the device?
So we've chosen the battery size to get you through the day, and we've optimized the use of it. So it's built completely new from the ground up. So it really, is to be there for you when you need it.
Now you don't have one with you right now, and obviously it's not coming out immediately, but the Q10 was also shown today.
Yes, actually.
Oh, you do have a Q10.
I can share that, yeah.
So I noticed the Q10 seems to be made of slightly more premium materials. Is that just because the bold fanatics want their device to have, metal and carbon fiber and all? It's not carbon fiber, it's some kind of...
It's glass fiber.
Glass fiber.
Actually.
So I'm just wondering why
process.
you went with the more premium materials on the Q10 over the Z10.
Sure. So the users of the bold line of products today are discerning of quality, discerning of refinement, and we also wanted to create the thinnest keyboard BlackBerry 10 device possible. So what we were able to do with this black cover, it's not about just the look. We were able to create a battery cover that is half the thickness of plastic and keep it as strong for that. As well, the frame is metal, stainless steel, finished with a black, quite scratch-resistant coating, and plastic where it needs to be. So in concept, it's very similar to the BlackBerry Z10.
And the Q10 obviously has the same gesture-based touchscreen.
Yes.
So I noticed that the screen is fairly large for a keyboard, a QWERTY device.
Yes.
So you can still do all the gesture movements on this type device.
Absolutely, and actually, because of BlackBerry 10 and the gesture-based user experience of it, we were able to make the screen 30% larger, make the keyboard even larger than the previous Bold 9900, and keep the same shape, or roughly the same shape, as what is pocketable and what is usable with one hand.
Are there keyboard shortcuts for peek and other UI gestures for somebody who might want to use a keyboard to do those things? Or do you still have
keyboard
to
has, so when you start typing on the keyboard, it automatically starts search, so global search, so you can quickly jump to your apps and other things, or save what you just entered for that. But the gesture-based is really, as seamless and simple as flicking your wrist. So I guess you're typing with
you, and then you move your thumb up, and then...
Yeah, absolutely. And the space between is quite close, so it's still very much one-handed use.
Now, you can obviously not comment on future devices specifically, but the design language that you've created for the Z10 and the Q10, can we expect to see this continuing in lower price point, like a future curve, a future playbook? And this is sort of the look of the future of BlackBerry, right?
What I would say to that is, great question, by the way. BlackBerry DNA, that, as I mentioned earlier, it's about elegance, about simplicity, and being purposeful in what it is. So this one does look a bit different than the Z10, BlackBerry Z10, but it's designed to show its function, if you will. So if you notice the frets on the sides, they're visible from the side view. So it's very clear that it is a keyboarded device. Some of these features may or may not, translate, but the DNA of BlackBerry around attention to detail and simplicity and elegance will.
Because you have in the past had some curves of a pretty wild color. I mean, color was something that the curved line had for it, and now we're back to a black and a white device.
Sure.
So I'm hoping that you inject some color into the lineup in future iterations of BB10
Well, we'll have
devices.
to see. Today we're talking about BlackBerry Z10 and Q10. But
just trying to fish for some information.
Sure. Great question. Thank you.
Well, thanks very much for talking to us. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on the Z10. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex.
And good luck with the launch.
Great meeting you. Thank you.